Okay. So we were talking about different ways to bundle
Yep.
things, and I was telling you about something unique that I saw, and I wanted
Yeah.
to dive in deep. So everybody's probably heard of NFTs right now.
Yeah.
But not a ton of people know a whole lot about them. In fact, you said
I'm one of those.
yeah. So if you were to guess, what would you say?
To be honest, all I think of NFTs is something Gary Vaynerchuk is selling. That's honestly what I think, and I think I've seen Ty Lopez talk about it.
Yeah.
And the standard guys that are out there that are usually up on the trends.
Yeah.
So that's my extent,
Yeah.
and I haven't looked. I think I've seen one called Bored Ape.
Yeah.
I think that's the
Yep.
Ty Lopez one. I don't know if it's.
I mean,
if
maybe he owns
or,
one. The Bored Ape collection is the
Yes.
most expensive NFT collection out there.
So yeah, but outside of that, that's all I know.
So here's what I saw interesting. So recently, one of my friends was telling me they saw this, and I dove into it and looked into it a little bit. But Russell Brunson offered an NFT kind of bundle for anybody that purchased tickets to what do they call it? Funnel Hacking Live or whatever that is.
Yep.
He also offered an NFT to people that watch a free webinar,
Yep.
basically getting people to do that. And then one person that claimed the NFT was going to get essentially, everyone's going to get entered into a drawing.
Okay.
And one person with an NFT, with that particular collection of NFT, would win basically free access to all of his recorded courses for life.
Got it.
Because of the NFT.
Got it.
And what I found interesting about this was essentially he used a trending topic
Yep.
that not a lot of people know what they actually are, but they've heard of them, offered one of these things, which is a digital thing, to people for free, attached a real-world value to it, and along the way basically taught people how to sign up for and receive and kind of manage NFTs all along the way. And he did all of that to people that don't know what NFTs are.
Yeah. It's almost like they're going after people similar like me who have heard, NFT, it must be of some value.
Yeah.
Because people keep talking about it. And so my assumption is, well, this NFT must have some value, so maybe I would want that.
Yeah.
Right? So it's almost like it's marketed perfectly to someone like me who has enough knowledge to know that it exists, but not enough to actually know, once I have it, what do I do with this?
Right. Well, and that's what I found most interesting about it. And I can explain exactly what an NFT is in a minute. But before doing that, what I found most interesting about this was he was able to use a trending topic to incentivize people by bundling this unique thing and offering a chance to win something. And it probably boosted sales by a large margin.
Yes.
And it got me thinking about just unique bundles, which we've talked about bundles before.
Yeah.
But I feel like the greater principle here is not necessarily the NFTs.
Yeah.
It's that you need to be thinking about how to create an offer that is a bundle offer that's interesting and hard to turn your back on, and it's unique,
and it creates urgency.
It creates urgency and value. That is what was more interesting to me, and I feel like more businesses need to really think about this.
I think, I think what we can learn from it is how to make your offer more sexy to the audience. Right? Sometimes we have offers that maybe they go stale, right?
Yeah.
So, hey, come sign up for this, come sign up for that, only works for so long before people are like, I'm no longer interested in that, because we all have the attention span of 10 seconds, right? And we want the new shiny object syndrome. And what I think a lot of these guys do very well, especially Russell Brunson, is they know how to, they understand that people have shiny object syndrome.
Yeah.
And so they know how to use that to their advantage.
Right.
Right? And there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
That's literally what marketing is to finish the conversation or continue the conversation that's going on in the customer's mind. And that's what they do, is they are able to figure out, how do I make the offer that maybe has not changed at all?
Yeah.
And how do I kind of reinvigorate it by go ahead and putting something new and fresh into the offering?
Right. New and fresh, and in a way that doesn't increase your overhead.
Correct.
Right? Because like an NFT was something that it maybe cost Russell Brunson $50
Yep.
to mint some NFTs.
Yep.
And then he gave them to, I don't know, thousands of people probably. And then some time, right? Because there's some technical knowledge that needs to happen to create your own NFT. But, you know, it just gets me thinking, if you pay attention, you see this in gyms. You see this with lots of different businesses,
courses and funnels,
and it's easy to forget when you're creating your own stuff because it's almost like you're too close to it. It's your own business, you're too close to it or whatever, right?
It's too So that's a great point, because that's a challenge that I believe everyone has. I've had this before. We all believe that just our offer alone, because we did it, is special enough.
Yeah.
But we don't. If we take like an honest look and say, is this intriguing enough to get someone to actually want to do this?
Right.
Usually the answer is no. Right? I mean, usually you do have to work on really kind of making it something that people want to, that they become attracted to it. And one rule of thumb that I have found is it's almost like whatever you dislike out there as far as how things are being sold is how you're going to have to sell it.
Right.
Right, so we all hate. Well, I hate ads. I hate this. I hate when they. Well, one more special offer. That's not all, but that all works.
Right.
Right, and so it's almost like you have to make a deal with yourself to just say, you know, I don't necessarily love to sound that way, but it obviously works because
it does, yeah.
That's how these guys are making millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah, absolutely. And like one of the things I think about a lot is it's almost like you need. It's almost like you need multiple offers, one to get people in the door, and then one to keep them there. Especially when you have a business that's maybe a service-based business with recurring revenue, or people come back, or you have returning customers, or some sort of subscription or membership plan like a gym or whatever, right? So like we talk about gyms a lot because you have a background. It's kind of an easy thing to visualize, but when you were selling gym memberships, I'm guessing you had something to get people in the door, and then once they were in the door, you did some things to keep them coming through the door.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
You always had, you know, people. This is the example of stale offers now. But you know, the 7-day trial pass, free personal training session, free nutrition plan. You know, you had to find a way to make the same thing sound different. Right. And so that's exactly it, though. You always had like some kind of hook, some kind of we've talked about ethical clickbait. In this instance, it's ethical walk through the door bait, and it's you basically want people to try something out, and you have to do something that makes them say, "I'm willing to exchange my time for whatever it is that you got."
Yeah, and you can even see this in real estate. We were talking about real estate a little bit earlier, right? Like there's 1,000 real estate agents in the local area here that I could reach out to any one of them. But why would I go with this person over this person? And oftentimes it has to do with more than just the fact that they can show me some houses.
Yeah, that's like the most, I guess, it's a very competitive space because a real estate agent can't change homes to make their home better than the next, right? I mean, they're literally selling the same exact thing. So they have to figure out unique ways to stand out that has nothing to do with the actual product, and that's how you win. Is because most of the stuff that we're all making is not new.
No, none of
everyone has done what we most likely are offering. It's how can we spin it to seem different, new, exciting, intriguing, and that's the name of the game. Right. And real estate agents are no different. In fact, they probably have one of the hardest jobs because you have to literally figure out, how do I stand out from the thousands and thousands of people selling literally the same product in the same exact area where the consumer knows no different? Right.
And you can't just mark everything off 20%.
Yeah, you can't give a discount. You can't. I mean, I guess you could probably figure out ways to do that, but there's only so much you can do.
Yeah. And so you have ways to kind of, like a realtor, their way of bundling is you're bundling basically your service and your personality, and that's what comes with the purchase and whatever. And that's kind of a probably a harder place to think about bundling, but the bundling does work.
It's almost like the more common your product is, the harder and longer you need to think about how to separate yourself.
Right.
Because they have seen your offer literally for 10, 15, 20 years. The same stale offer. The same exact stale offer. So you have to change it up. Use some of these tactics that Russell Brunson uses where you take the same offer and you make it sound like it's new by adding something that's trendy.
Yeah. Maybe you give them an NFT for every house they purchase. I don't know.
Give them a fine art painting. But one of the other challenge I think in real estate and financial markets is there's limits to what you can do as far as legally.
Yeah. There's definitely some regulations.
You can't just do anything. Like you can't say, buy this house and I literally will give you $5,000 back. In a new car or something. I mean, you just, at least to my knowledge, I don't think you can do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of bundles, and I know we talked about this one, and I want to keep bringing it back because in my mind, this was one of the more interesting bundles I've ever seen. But it was Gary Vee when he launched his book back in August, I think is when it was. And the book had something to do with number 12, like 12 marketing principles or something. I don't know. I didn't read it. It didn't work for me, I guess. But he basically said, if you buy 12 of these books and send my team the receipt, we'll give you a free NFT, I think is what it was. And he sold like 1 million books in the first 24 hours with that offer. And again, the NFT didn't cost him any money.
Yeah.
But what he did is he essentially convinced people to buy 12 of something you normally only buy one of. He 12x'd the average order number.
Just by doing that.
Just by bundling with this like free NFT or whatever. So... but yeah, I don't know. We talked about NFTs a lot. Do you think it would be worth diving into a little bit of what NFTs are? You want me to spend a couple of minutes on that?
I don't even know. To be honest, I'm not. I know it's like something digital and there's something that's of value. But to be honest, I'm lost on what NFTs actually are.
Yeah, so I mean, NFT stands for non-fungible token, which really doesn't mean a whole lot to
what
most
does that
people.
mean?
Non-fungible means it's irreplaceable.
Got it.
Right? So fungible means it's replaceable. So the easiest way to think about this is in terms of a dollar bill.
Okay.
If I give you a dollar bill, it doesn't matter which dollar bill I give you, it's worth $1.
Yeah.
Right? Now, that means it's fungible. Doesn't matter which one it is. Every time I give you $1,
it's worth $1.
It's worth $1.
Yeah.
Now, something that's non-fungible would be something like a collector's edition dollar from the early 1800s that had a misprint, and there was only like 10 of them, and 9 of them were burned in the Chicago fire, and you have this only that $1 bill.
Got it.
That $1 bill, it's irreplaceable.
Yeah.
That is the only one of those. It's non-fungible.
Yeah. So NFTs are basically just collectibles, like limited edition type stuff.
Yeah. If you think about them like a limited edition,
a Michael Jordan autograph card that I have, that could be somewhat of an NFT, right? Not. I mean, I probably have to go through some process to make this.
Yeah, it would be non-fungible, but it wouldn't be a token. It would be a non-fungible thing, right? Like it's this collector's thing. So if you start thinking about NFTs like a collector's thing, then they start making a little bit more sense on why this Bored Ape sold for $1.2 million or whatever.
It's like baseball cards, but digitally.
Yeah.
Got it.
Now the other aspect of that is if you have a Michael Jordan card that's signed or a baseball card that's signed by Sammy Sosa or whatever. Typically, you need some sort of authentication, like a certificate of authentication, right? Well, with non-fungible tokens, it's a digital thing, so the certificate of authentication is on the blockchain.
Okay.
Right, and all blockchain is at a high level is a ledger of transactions, essentially. So you think of it like a ledger book in accounting. You have your debits and credits.
Yep.
That's all it is at a high level. And so essentially the transaction would be, I created this NFT and then I transacted it by giving it to you for however much you paid for it. And now everybody can look at the blockchain and say, Greg's wallet address, which no one else can fake. Greg owns that NFT, and you could sell that as well.
I can see now that you explain it that way. Now, okay, so it makes sense on why the younger demo is so excited about this, because I'm instantly putting myself back into when I'm 13, 14 years old, how interested I was in baseball cards
Yeah.
and the value of them and trading. I used to trade baseball cards all the time when I was a kid. And this basically just sounds like this is a new form, but real money involved in collecting baseball cards where I have this unique, rookie card of, Michael Jordan, and no one else has it. And I got it in Don Russ's, bag once upon a time. And it's almost like hitting the lottery in a way where you're like, I've got this really valuable thing that people want. And there's only so many of them.
Right.
And so because you have it, the value is super high, and you could actually transfer that and get money for it.
Yeah.
So that's basically what NFTs are. It's like
basically
baseball cards.
Yep. Now we can take it to one level higher, though. Now imagine that there was a special event that only people that had this limited edition signed baseball card could go to.
Okay.
So now there's this real world
Event.
value for having it, not just value that owning it and I could sell it, but you're getting value out of. You're getting actual value right now by being the owner
because
your ticket to get in the door to this elite thing is this card.
Okay, I see. So basically, it has like dual value because not only can you sell it, but you can use it as a way to be part of a VIP group.
Part of a club, right? You can attach some real world value. Now that has less to do with like the technology itself and more to do with basically saying, as the creator of this NFT, if you own this NFT, then I will provide this real world value to you. So there's no like technical, you've got to scan your NFT to get in the door. It's just like we're only going to send invites out to people and you can verify on the website before we give you the ticket that you're the owner of that NFT, and then you get into that. Or you get, with Russell Brunson's case, you get entered into a drawing.
Yep.
Right? With Gary Vee, he basically said there's going to be some events and things that you'll be able to come to. Or you could offer people discounts if they're an NFT owner or whatever, right? So, and that's where we're starting to see a little bit of a transition where, because again, as a creator, I can create an NFT and it costs me maybe $50 in what's called gas fees to mint those. But then I can give them out to whoever because because
you created.
I created them, and when I created them, I could say there's only going to be 100 of these, and once that's done, it's locked in. I'd have to create a new collection in order for me to.
Could there be something that I have a question about is could there be an oversaturation of NFTs then?
Oh yeah.
So is this a hurry up and get in early now before it's too late type deal, or is this like it's still the value would still be based on who created the NFT? And that doesn't matter.
Yeah. Right. More the latter, because what we're seeing is a shift, right? The whole get in early kind of happened like 18 months ago.
Okay.
And that's where all of these, the Bored Apes and all of the others, the frenzy happened and everything. And in order to play that game, you got to drop some serious money. Like, I think the cheapest Bored Ape is maybe $50,000 or something like that.
That I do know. That the board. That's why I remembered it, because I heard that it was extremely expensive.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, what is this? I don't even know what it is, but after this explanation, now I know why people would pay that.
Right. And I think Bored Ape gets you into some events and there's some other real world benefits for being an owner. But what we're starting to see now, in my eyes, is a shift where you're starting to see NFTs being given away.
Got it.
Because we want to provide some additional value or whatever, or that value could be bought and traded and sold and traded and sold and whatever.
It's like country club.
Yeah.
It's like having a membership at a country club.
Yeah, you could do that, or you could launch a commemorative NFT for anybody that did this commemorative event, or all of the VIP members or the founding members of a particular group. Everyone gets that NFT, and there was only 50 of those because there's only 50 members, and now you're the owner of that, and it's not really worth selling. But basically, it's like a badge or a medal that you can wear, or a ribbon that says that was me. I'm the authentic. You know, that's the authentication.
You know what I'm thinking now that I understand NFTs, now that you've explained it to me in this manner. Guru marketing might take a whole nother level, because the smart ones out there, the ones that are always on the newest trends, they're going to be able to utilize this as a way to make their guru status even more cemented.
Yeah.
Right? Because you can use this as, hey, you're at my country club now.
Yeah.
And if you want to be closer affiliated to me,
Mm-hmm.
Buy this.
Yeah.
Or get this. And you can create value just from being affiliated with you through these NFTs because you're the only one who made it.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of creative use cases for this where they're not necessarily being sold and traded as collector's items, but they're being used in ways that we probably can't imagine just yet. But they're being used to basically say, yeah, I was there, or I did that, or I'm part of this group.
And I'm not saying that's a bad thing.
No, I don't think that's a bad thing.
So I'm actually saying the guru marketing, and I know guru sometimes a negative connotation, but I guess an influencer or someone that is creating stuff, I like your use of it, creators, they could use it to build a more loyal following and really create some cool stuff. I mean, if you think about it, if you've got a specific, let's say an actor, right? Like I love The Rock, right? Like if The Rock created one of these and you saw an NFT that was like, if you buy this, you have access, you could literally meet The Rock at his next movie showing. But, it costs you $10,000 to own this. And every time he rolls out a new movie, you can be there.
Yeah.
Well, now that's interesting.
That's interesting.
And
that's something that could be sold down the road to someone else. And
I can see that being value because there's two types of value. One could be, an acquiring and selling value, like a house, right? Like I buy a house and I sell it, I'm making money off. Or it can be something that cash flows you, similar to like if an actor gives you this, it's almost like a cash flow in a way where it's like I have unique access to this person at any time when they create something, and that's a value. I value that more than the transaction value of selling it.
Right. Exactly. And I think it's ultimately good because of this is very approachable because a lot of tactics and strategies and all of these things can sometimes feel like they're not approachable unless you've already made it.
Yeah.
Right? But something like this is approachable. There is a technical learning curve, but it's something that your typical internet savvy person could probably figure out in a few days how to mint their own NFTs and how to use those to provide value to, again, their group, their club, their business as a customer thank you, whatever. And some of your customers will be like, yeah, whatever. But some of them will think it's really interesting and amazing.
You know what's
and valuable.
funny? I'm thinking of a client now that I have a better understanding of who would absolutely dominate this. I'm not going to say who it is, but I'm going to bring it up to them tomorrow.
Yeah.
And mention they really should think about this technology because the nature of their business is actually in the collectibles space.
Oh, really?
And they sell very unique stuff. And so, with that being said, and I don't think they're looking at the CEO. He's always on top of things.
Yeah.
But he's operations. He's constantly thinking of innovative operational ways to do things. I don't know if he's seen this particular trend. Like if he's actually spent much time on this, and I'm going to present it to him.
Yeah.
And say, you really should consider since the nature of your business. Yeah. Fits perfectly with this.
Yeah, I think that's a great use case. Another use case that kind of came to mind here would be, you know how Russell Brunson has his 2 Comma Club. For anybody that uses ClickFunnels to sell over $1 million of something, you get 2 comma. You could do something similar, like when, I don't know if you're in health and fitness, or maybe you're helping with weight loss or whatever. When someone hits their goal, they get an NFT, right? Or when someone hits some sort of milestone, there's like an NFT that they will get out of that they can again present as like this badge of honor. You can even create like a landing page on some of these sites that will basically say, hey, this is my page. It's cryptographically verified to be mine, and here's all of the badges of honors, as AKA NFTs that I have, and you can display those off. Yeah,
got it. So I think NFTs, so if we round it back to how you can apply this to marketing, number one is, NFT sounds like it hits all the boxes as far as solid marketing, which is create some kind of community with your customer, create something unique. create something that's intriguing and exciting, new, innovative. I mean, it's checking off all the boxes. It's a different offer.
Right.
Not everyone can get it. You can have some exclusivity.
Mm-hmm.
So that's basically the moral of the story of NFTs and anything that you do your marketing is how do we make the offer hit these these boxes? How do they check off the boxes so that people respond, so people are excited about what you have? Because at the end of the day, when people are looking to market their products and services, what they're when they say I want to market my stuff, what they're saying is I want to get sales today.
Yeah.
Right. That's what they mean.
Uh-huh.
Or faster. If it's not today, it's if it takes me 90 days to get a sale, how do I get it in 45 days? Right. And so this is how you do it.
Right.
You create offers that are unique and different and exciting, creates urgency, creates, country club feel. Maybe you can't get in, so if I buy this, I feel. So there's different angles to use. And so I could see how NFTs apply to basically standard fundamental marketing.
Yeah. And if you're out there listening and you're like, NFTs, I don't want to go down this tech rabbit hole, or maybe you're not a technical person, there is a way you can apply the same principles in any sort of way. Like I said, Russell Brunson's 2 Comma Club.
Yep.
It's a plaque, right? Plaques are not new.
Yeah.
But it was a very sought after thing because of how hyped up it was and everything along those lines. And there's a lot of different ways to provide that.
Russell Brunson is literally a marketing genius, and I have no problem saying that. He's very, very skilled at what he does, and a lot of things that he does is cutting edge. It's new, exciting. It checks all the boxes that we just talked about, and I think you can learn a lot from what he's doing versus what people are saying, right? If you watch what he's doing and try to mimic that in your own way, you can win.
Yeah. You know what I'm most jealous of him about?
What's that?
It doesn't seem like he overthinks everything.
No.
I overthink so much. He's always like doing something. When he throws a video out there, he just gets it out there.
Yep.
And I talk to people about this in my membership all the time, but I'm like, I overthink a lot.
Well, I think thinking of overthinking, right? I think it's just because your skill set is a different skill set that he probably can never touch. Right, and so we all have a different way of how we think. Yeah, and so for him, he's like he appears. I don't know, but he appears to be a creative, impulsive person. So he could just sit here and think an unbelievable idea and get it out to market within seconds. Yeah, right. Where some people, maybe someone that has a mindset of yours that knows how to build things, you're thinking, well, how does that why would I launch that now? I just thought of 2 seconds ago. I can't just launch it.
I gotta think this. I gotta think this through.
Well, because you're thinking of how will it, apply and
that's exactly how I think.
Everything else.
That's how software engineers think. And again, that's my background.
Yeah.
And I love that I came from software engineering over into marketing because I feel like it gives me a super unique perspective on a lot of areas. But yes, that's very much a software engineering way to think about solving a problem.
Well, and it's necessary, right? Because you can't just build something with absolutely no regard to everything else. Because it'll break. So I think that's, everyone kind of has their different skill set. And that's what I think he has that's really good is he's probably in the high level of creativity and impulsiveness. Yeah. So he probably, I'm assuming, because he's from Idaho, I think he's LDS.
I think so.
And so he doesn't have any of these bad habits, but he should never get into gambling or hang out in Las Vegas too much because that could be a problem for that personality type.
To make you feel better. And Russell's actually shared this video, but he's got a video of him out there at his very first sales conference trying to sell something. Yeah. And he's fumbling over his words. It's terrible. Okay. It's terrible. It's awful. And so if you're out there and you're thinking I could never be as charismatic, definitely find that. It's out there on YouTube somewhere. Yeah. Find that and you'll think, oh, everyone starts somewhere. Everyone starts somewhere.
Absolutely.
But yeah. So hey, let's wrap this up. Everyone go get it, Greg.
Yeah, you can book a strategy session call with me if you need some help with your marketing. GregMarshall.co. And what about you, Blake?
BlakeBuse.com, and I have a membership on there where I help people with social media marketing. So,
Well, great. I think hopefully you enjoyed this session. I know I learned a lot about NFTs, and now I can see what's so attractive about them.
yeah.
So thank you, Blake, for educating me on that. And until next time,
Okay. We'll catch you guys later. Bye.
later.